Hey you guys, it's your girl Simone and welcome back to my channel. So today, as y'all can see by the title, I'm about to tell y'all a story about how this nigga had me fucked up thinking he was finna trick me into a threesome with his dumbass girlfriend. So before we get started with this story, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel, give your girl a thumbs up and comment down below. So y'all, what we gonna name this fool? We gonna name him okay? So let's go ahead and get started into this story. So as y'all can see by the title, this boy had me fucked up, y'all. So let's go straight into it. Okay, so it was this boy I had been talking to, like, whatever, through DMs or whatever. He asked me one day, like, so when are we gonna finally hang out or whatever? He told me first, he was like, we gonna go out, like, you wanna go to the movies? So I was just like, all right, cool. So he lived a little, not too far from me or whatever. So he asked me, like, can I come to him? And then we could go from there and he'll take me home. So I was just like, all right, at this time I did not have no car and I probably was about like 17. So yeah, so I was like, all right. So I end up Ubering to him. Well, no. Oh yeah, so I ended up getting dropped off to him or whatever. I had my uncle drop me off and I ended up getting dropped off. I told my uncle he was dropping me off somewhere else. I do that to a lot to my uncle. But anyway, I had my uncle drop me off and yeah, so when I got there, he was standing outside for a cool minute. So I'm like, why are we standing outside? For one, we were standing outside, right? And I'm like, why are we standing outside? So I'm just like, so when we leaving, like, you know, because basically we've been standing outside for like a good 10 minutes and he just talking to me and stuff. So I'm like, so when we go to the movies, like, what time it start? And he's just like, oh yeah, the movies. Oh yeah, we gonna go. Don't trip. Like, we gonna go. So I'm just like, okay. So he was being so weird. Like, you ever see somebody when they, like, you could tell they want to ask you something, but they too nervous so they don't ask you? That's how he was acting. Like, you could tell he wanted to say something to me. Like, he'd smile and, like, look at me and say something, like, be like, shake his head. And I'll be like, what? I don't know why. I don't know. I'm not rude or nothing like that. But when somebody be looking at me too long and just smiling, I be thinking, like, is you laughing at me? Like, is it something funny? Like, what do you want? Like, what? So we're standing outside. He kept looking at his phone. The next, you know, somebody called him. And he was like, all right, let's go. So I'm like, okay. So we start walking. So I'm just like, where are we walking to? I'm like, oh, where you park at? And he said, oh, no, we going to my house. I'm like, so whose house is this? He's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, but I just got to go in my house for a little bit and then we going to leave. He was like, it's just my people was there, my cousin or somebody or some shit like that was there. He's like, I was just waiting for them to leave because I didn't want them to be all on you, asking you type of questions and stuff like that. So I was just waiting for my aunt and all of them to leave. So I'm just like, oh, okay. That was already just weird to me because I'm just like, I guess. So we end up going to his house or whatever, right? So at his house, it was probably like, when we got inside, it was a few people up in there, like some girls. It was like 3 girls up in there and then 1 boy. And they was like all listening to music and chilling or whatever, just like chopping it up, right? So he come in, he like, oh, you can sit down on the couch. So I'm like, all right. So I sit down, say hi to everybody. Hi, hello. So they like, hi, you know, whatever. So mind you, just 3 girls, 1 boy, and him, and then me. So yeah, so they all chilling. So the girl and one of the boys, they was like all cupcaked up on the other couch, just chilling. And then it was one girl, she was just dancing, singing, doing her thing. And it was another girl sitting on the couch, like where I was sitting on the couch or whatever. So he came in there, he's just like, so y'all want something to drink or whatever? And like, I'm sitting here thinking like, if we wasn't going to the movies, then why you didn't say that? Like, you want to kick with your people. But I'm still giving him a chance because he said we was going to go to the house real quick. So I'm like, maybe he just want to kick it with them real quick before we go. Y'all. So we end up in there. So he like, y'all want something to drink, like alcohol or whatever. And the girl sitting on the couch, she like, yeah, we got to warm up. We got to warm up. We got a pregame. So I'm thinking like, where they going? But I wasn't finna ask her because, you know, whatever. So they like, yeah, so they want something to drink, all this other stuff, right? So they drink or whatever, and I didn't drink because I'm just like, I don't want to drink. I know like back then, it's crazy because I actually started drinking alcohol in high school, which I'm like, I wish I didn't, but when I used to get around people, like if this is my first time around you, I'm not around my friends and stuff like that, I'm not about to drink with you because, you know, I knew I used to get really drunk and no, I'm not doing that. So I'm like, nah, I'm good, whatever. So next thing you know, the 2 girls, the guy and the other 2 girls, they end up going in the room. Y'all, so they end up going in the room or whatever. Y'all already know what's going down in the room. So he up in there, he just like talking to me, whatever. The other girl, she like talking, everybody just talking, whatever. I'm thinking like this his sister or something, right? Come to find out it wasn't his sister, but y'all, we'll get there. So we talking. So he was just like, oh, okay, y'all about to be besties, y'all about to be best friends. And she just laughing like, yep, she was like, I really want you to drink though, I want you to drink. And I was like, nah, I'm good, like, you know, because we finna go to the movies anyway, so I don't want to be up in there acting crazy. And she was just like, like, she started laughing, like, when I said the movies, like, she thought it was the most funniest thing in the world. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, like, and he was just like, okay, I like this. He was like, so I'm gonna go to the store. He asked me, he was like, Simone, you wanna come me to the store quick? I'm just about to get something real quick. And then he's like, and then, you know, then that's all he said, then, you know. And I'm just like thinking like, oh, then, you know, we gonna leave to the movie. So he's like, you wanna come? And I was like, okay. And then he was like, no, actually you stay here. And then she was like, yeah, stay. And he was like, yeah, y'all get to know each other. And so I'm just like, okay, like, okay. So he left to the store, me and her talking or whatever. So we talking, she was just like, oh, ask me all type of questions or whatever like that. And she was my age. He was probably like 20. So she was like 17 as well. He probably was like 20 or whatever. So she asked me like, how old am I? And all these other questions. And I'm just thinking like, okay, his sister nosy as fuck. So I finally asked, I'm like, so how y'all know each other? So how, I'm like, you and it's like brother and sister or whatever. And she was just like, no, that's my nigga. Yo. I said, what? She was like, that's my nigga. You know, I was just like, wow. I said, that's crazy. I'm like, why? I'm like, y'all, what did y'all like in some type of open relationship or something? And she was like, no. And then she started seeming irritated. And I'm just like, I started texting him and I was just like, I don't even want to go to the movies no more. I want to go home. And then he didn't reply. So at this point, I'm like irritated. And I was just like, I'm texting him like, I'm finna go. And he was just like, nah, don't go. It's cool. I'll take you home or whatever like that. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So then she finally asked me, she was just like, girl, don't even trip. Because I guess she could see me texting, or he probably hit her up, who knows. And she was like, girl, don't even trip. You good. And she was just like, yeah, no, you good. You real cute though. Like, you're pretty, so you're good. And I'm just thinking like, what the fuck? Like, this is weird. I'm good to talk to your boyfriend because you think I'm cute. Like, so at this point in my head, I was thinking, because I'm always thinking some crazy shit, but I didn't really want to go that far in my head. So I'm just like, let me stop thinking like that, right? So I asked her, I said, sir, are you going to the movies with us? Here she go again. Girl. And then she didn't say shit. So I'm just like, what's so funny about the word movies? Like, what the fuck? So I'm just like, are you going to the movies? And she was just like, ain't nobody going to the movies. She like, no, nobody going to the movies. And I was like, yeah, me and him going to the movies. Supposedly, I was like, but honestly, I really don't even want to go no more. I said, because he didn't tell me he had no girlfriend. And I'm like, and it's just weird. I'm like, and I started telling her, I'm like, it's not like me and him on no talking stuff like that, but you know, it could potentially be that, like, we hanging out, we going to the movies, and he has a girlfriend, and I'm not into talking to somebody in a relationship. And she was just like, oh, why, it's your first time? This your first time or something? So when she said that, right, I'm thinking she meant this is my first time. Again, I don't want my mind to go other places, because I swear I be thinking the most crazy shit. So when she said this your first time or something, so I'm like, well, I don't just willingly talk to niggas in relationships, like, you know. So I'm like, yes. I'm like, you okay? You be okay with him talking to people? And she was like, well, we be doing this or whatever all the time. She was like, but, you know, we don't really trip about it, like, you know, it's whatever. So I'm like, so y'all in an open relationship? And she was just like, well, it's not like that. She was like, I'll let him explain when he come back. So I'm like, well, when he come back, I'm about to go home. I'm like, honestly, I'm probably about to come alright. So she's like, just go, it's cool. Like, we friends. Like, you cool, whatever. She's like, it's not like that. It's no drama on my end. Like, you cool. I told you cool. So at this point, I'm just thinking, like, this is weird. He ended up coming back. He like, Simone, why are you trying to leave? So I'm just like, like, I did not know you had a girlfriend. Like, that's weird. And he was just like, oh, I'm not trying to be your boyfriend or nothing like that. Y'all. And I'm just like, okay, like, okay. It wasn't an embarrassing moment for me, but it's just like, I didn't say you was trying to be my boyfriend. I'm just saying, like, you hanging out with me, you trying to take me out on a date. Okay, yeah, it could be a friendly date, but why are you taking people on a date when you have a whole girlfriend that's sitting here? Like, she okay with it, but that's so fucking weird, right? So at this point, the other people, they still in the room or whatever, and he just like, okay, I'll take you home, because I hit my uncle. My uncle was like, he could come get me, but I had to wait. So I'm like, fuck. So he like, I'll take you home. He's like, but just wait a minute, like I just want to drink a little bit and stuff like that. And yeah, he's like, and they kept saying, I really just wish you would drink. Like, and I'm just like, no, like I'm cool. The whole time I'm like quiet now, I'm on my phone or whatever. So he ended up sitting down on the couch, and next thing you know, they start kissing, y'all. They started kissing, and I just was like, what the fuck? So at this point, I'm texting my uncle like, any day now, like, you know, my uncle had me waiting, y'all. So they start kissing, and then she looked over at me and she was like, so you're not gonna join us? Y'all, I was like, what? She was like, so you're not gonna join us? And I was just like, no, I'm not. And she was just like, well, why did you come over here then? Y'all. So at this point, I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, I came here because me and him were supposed to go to the movies. He ain't never told me he was gonna be on no weird shit like this. And he was just like, I just don't see the problem. Like, we're all grown. Nigga, you're grown. Me and her are minors. But anyway, he like, we're all grown here. Like, you know what to do. He was all like, it's not that deep. Like, we do this all the time. Like, what's the problem? And he was just like, you see, they in the room doing it. So why you don't want to do it? And I'm just like, because that's not what the fuck I'm here for. Like, I didn't come here to have sex with you and your girlfriend. Like, I didn't come here to have a threesome. Like, the fuck? I was so irritated, y'all. And he like, well, he was like, well, I wish I would have known, like, you was childish. Y'all, I was just like, and she just like, babe, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, maybe she just needs some alcohol. You just need to loosen up. And I was just like, y'all, I'm good. And he was like, well, I'll take you home, but first I want to fuck my bitch. Y'all. Y'all, I was like, nah, it's cool. Like, I'm like, it's all right. I'll make my own way home. Y'all, at this point, the other people coming out the room, they like, what's going on? Damn, y'all ain't getting it cracking yet? So, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm finna go. So I'm like, well, it was nice, y'all, but I'm out, whatever. I'm gone, y'all. I'm like, this is too weird for me. And the other girl was all like, damn, because I thought we was going to be able to switch off. You cute, but I guess you not into it. She's like, what y'all do to her? At this point, I was like, and the boy, like, I just didn't know she wasn't going to be on this, like, I'm like, you supposed to tell somebody. I said, maybe it's somebody that would have been okay with come over here and have this big threesome orgy with y'all. I said, but not me. Like, you told me we was going to the movies, and now you on some weird shit, and you think that I'm supposed to just be okay with it and be like, oh, sure, let me just try this out. Like, no, what the fuck? So at this point, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I don't even need no ride from you. You do your bitch, and y'all do everybody. Y'all all have fun, mingle, and whatever, but I'm good. I'm gone. So, y'all, I ended up leaving out. And when I was walking out, he started coming outside behind me. And he was just like, no, like, I don't even want to end us on a bad note. Like, honestly, if you don't want to hang out with her, me and you could hang out. And, you know, we could go have our dates and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm good. I said, because clearly, like, you on some weird shit, and you know, like, it's no point. He just was like, why are you being mad? Like, he just laughing, like, it was just the funniest thing in the world. And he like, I didn't lie, like, we could have still went to the movies. He's like, but I just wanted to get mine in first. Like, I just wanted to see if it was worth spending some money on. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm good. Like, you know, I'm like, that's weird as fuck. I'm good. So I'm walking still. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And I'm just like, yeah, my uncles and my cousins is coming to get me. Because at this point, I'm lying, but I don't know what the fuck he on, because he's weird. Like, you're following me. Why are you following me outside telling me you wanted to see if the cat was good enough to spend money on? For one, nigga, you're older. Not that that's a big age difference. 18, 19, 20. It's 3 years apart. It's not that big of an age difference. However, the fuck you over here recruiting fucking minors for threesomes for? Like, you don't know any 20-year-old bitches that want to fuck you and your girl? Well, not you and your girlfriend. Maybe you get an older girlfriend, girlfriend your age, and y'all all like, I don't know. No telling how old them other people was, but the girls looked at young too, but the boy, he looked at older. So I'm just like, and no telling if he was even 20 years old, y'all. He probably lied. That's the crazy part about it. Y'all, after that, I blocked him on Instagram. My uncle finally came. I ended up walking down the street. It was like a McDonald's. I ended up walking down the street and sitting in the McDonald's until he came, y'all. My uncle ended up coming to get me. And I can't even tell him what happened because I lied and said I was coming to my homegirl house in the first fucking place. Y'all, I was so irritated. I blocked him. He ended up having the girl hit me up, and she was just like, something. She said some bullshit, but I ended up blocking her too because I'm just like, what the fuck? Y'all are weird. Like, y'all are weird. And it's just sad because I'm just thinking like, oh, girl probably not even really into that, but she just happy to have a boyfriend or some shit. Like, you know, so she probably just going along whatever the fuck he telling her to do, and it's like is a grown fucking weirdo. No telling, I ain't seen this man or like seen him on social media, nothing, or ran into him ever again in life. So no telling what he doing, but no telling that nigga's probably on his R. Kelly shit right now to this day, doing some crazy shit with some fucking little girls. Who knows? Now, I don't know. It was just a crazy ass experience, y'all. I swear, when I tell y'all, I went through some bullshit. Well, it's crazy because it's like when I'm in a relationship, it's a long relationship, and it's some bullshit in between it. Maybe sort of, kind of, maybe not. But y'all, I have a lot of stories because I've been through so much shit that you would not believe. Like when I be telling people, and when shit used to happen, and I would like tell one person or something like that, they'd be like, girl, I used to sit down and really be thinking like, this is my life. This is my life. Like I like suspense and all this shit, but damn, you know. But that was a crazy ass experience. And to that, I'd honestly just say, if you are younger or whatever, or if you're watching this, whatever, if you hang out with somebody, there's nothing wrong with telling somebody, oh, my friend is coming to, especially if you don't feel comfortable going around somebody, because honestly, like, imagine if the other boy or whatever, or him, they was just on some tough shit, like trying to force me to do something or something like that. You know, you just never know. Like, don't meet up with people, y'all. I mean, it's hard as an adult. If you are, make sure you have your stuff on you, some mace, taser, blick, something, you know. But y'all, it ain't worth it. I should never been trying to talk to him anyway, even though, you know, I shouldn't have been trying to go to the movies with him, a 20-year-old boy. But it is what it is, y'all. But anyway, that's the story. He had me fucked up. Him and his stupid little girlfriend, I ain't seen her either ever again. But they was all just some fucking weirdos, y'all. And yeah, so if you aren't already doing so, subscribe to your girl channel, give your girl a thumbs up, and comment down below. And don't forget to share this video to whoever, your church members, your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your great granny, your cousin, your newborn baby. Somebody share this video and yeah, tell them about your girl. Thank you.